everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to try and build a house, but the house is going to be built inside of a greenhouse. So the immediate garden will thrive no matter the season. If it's snowing, your garden will still be beautiful. And actually, I think it'll be really helpful for sim gardeners because all of their flowers and veggies and whatnot will be protected as well. I was inspired to do this because I actually saw a real life house built inside of a greenhouse on Instagram yesterday. And I thought, what a perfect idea for a Sims build. So let's give it our best shot. Get yourself comfy, get a drink, and let's play Sims. All right, I'm gonna choose to do our build in Mount Komorbi on this lot, which is usually by default a vacation lot. And the reason why I want to build here is because it's snowy, and I think that'll just enhance the inside of our greenhouse versus the outside. Let's check which side is the front of the house. I like to do this by just drawing a wall with a stripe on it, and that way I know that it's the front. And also we'll probably get a better picture for the gallery if we build it this way. Just a little trick. And then for our greenhouse, I mean, we want to be able to fit, I guess, a tiny home in here. I can barely see the grid actually. So our greenhouse should be relatively big, but we also want to be able to maybe landscape a little bit around it as well. So I won't take up the entire lot. You know, we'll give maybe 2 or 3 squares on either side just so we can at least do a bit of work on either side. Well, that is a huge greenhouse, but this is also an interesting lot because we have this big community, I was gonna say community center, but it's the chairlift over here. So it almost kind of suits that big scale as well, just being near that, as well as the residential homes too. You know what? I still think it looks too big though, so I'm gonna bring it in a little bit more. Even the one that I saw was enormous on Instagram. I was thinking, holy moly, that's big. And then our tiny home, which we can't actually use this as a tiny lot because of the greenhouse around it. I mean, technically we could, but it would mess up our lighting because we would have to not have walls and it'd be kind of confusing. So I'd rather just have nice lighting. So we will have a tiny home size. We can't go right into the corner. I would love to build it like that, but that'll mess up our actual greenhouse. So let's give a couple of squares again on either side, and maybe we can look at making it that size. I mean, that's probably more of a small home than a tiny home, but yeah, I think that's a good shape. The greenhouse walls could be taller. They could actually be huge, but it will also adjust the smaller house inside. So maybe we go somewhere in the middle, and I think we ought to start, you know, editing the greenhouse first. We ought to start. So let's pop that on. Let's bring in the sides using our arrows so it's all neat and nice. And then I'm going to reduce this down, otherwise it'll look a little ridiculous if it's full size. And then we'll choose the scale of our tiny home within the greenhouse once we have all the walls looking see-through. Now we do have the actual Green Haven pack that, oh wait, we won't see the glass because of the snow. Oh, bummer. I didn't really think about that. Well, we can always change the location. We do have these glass walls that were added recently in an update. So if you do have the Green Haven pack, you'll now have these glass walls to match the roofing, but we can't see the roofing sadly because of the snow. I think we do need to see into it though. I think having it snow on top kind of ruins the illusion. So I'm gonna save this and move lots, just keeping in mind we're on a 30 by 20. I'll just save this lot to my library and we'll go somewhere where the seasons can change. Why don't we try Windenburg? I mean, this is very pretty. And this also looks awesome in snowy seasons when you have seasons turned on. We'll go to my library. We'll place this lot furnished, even though it's not really furnished. Aha! Now we can see the grounds a lot easier. And I think it would be nice to raise it off the ground a smidge too. And now we can fully appreciate our greenhouse walls. So the actual one I saw, I believe it was a red house underneath the greenhouse, and it actually had silver details on it. So maybe we just go with that same idea. And you know what was interesting on the original build? They actually had they had half-gabled roofs that intersect, which is kind of cool. So these parts of the roof overlapped in the middle like that, but because we're in The Sims, it's going to cause this this issue of having a middle wall, so we're better off using the regular roof. The regular pitched roof will be fine for us. It's like a giant incubator. I'm going to use my new favorite decking steps that came with Adventure Awaits. I'll put them on both sides of here to create an entrance. That is so lopsided. And what I really love about this is it has lovely matching foundation as well as matching decking. Honestly, I'd probably get this pack just for this decking. Is that bad to admit? Well, it's honest. Okay, so we have that. Part of me kind of wants to make this frame black because I'm thinking it's going to make it look like a farmhouse inside if the inside has red wood, or we could just completely change it as well. We'll start with it this way. And then for our house in here, oh, this could actually be interesting if the game's going to get upset at us with our roofing. Okay, maybe if we just delete that. Oh no, it's gonna keep deleting the roof. Okay, so maybe we have to put a roof within a roof. Please work, please work, please work. It worked. Okay, so we can have a roof within a roof. I think it would have looked nicer just as a flat roof, but I'm not sure how to do that without it just deleting it. So that's just what we're gonna have to do. It would be kind of cool to put a skylight in here as well, but let's just keep it simple for now. But for gameplay, I mean, it works okay because it just removes both roofs and then puts on both roofs. If you want to go up and down levels, or if you change your wall views, it's not too bad. If we're going by the picture or the inspo that I already have, it was red inside of this. Maybe more like this. I'm not sure if I love that though. I'm just not a huge fan of the color red, if I'm being completely honest. Burgundy, yes. Fire engine red, no. And as always, I did do a little planned drawing. Which no one can ever understand except for me, but I do have a little floor plan sketch and some title ideas. So I'll follow this in front of me. Oh, I have coffee on my top. How did that get there? I just washed this. Oh, for once I just want a clean top in my video. Also, if you can hear any hammering in the background of this video, it's because they're still working next door. Look, I'm trying to be a good sport and be open to red, just because I know some of you guys will like the red color. I like red brick. What about red brick? I mean, that's not a bad compromise, is it not? It goes with the brick or the stone in the world. Or weathered, more weathered board. Look, I'll come back to it, but we can do this for now. And then I'm just gonna do my usual interior. Paper from the, I always get asked this. It is from the Restoration Workshop kit. Okay, so my floor plan idea was to have a bathroom here, and then the lounge room would be just here. So we would have potentially room for a fireplace as well. That would be quite nice. And we do have this new marble hearth fireplace, which I think is just so pretty. Might be a bit fancy for such a small home though. Like, or more so just a bit big for such a small home. I love this eco one. But it could make more sense kind of on the side here, and then we do an L-shaped couch, or we could even do an angled fireplace here. I also really like this one from Horse Ranch. Ooh, but we also have this one now, which is cool, from Adventure Awaits. Oh, it's got a lovely kind of golden or timber handle on the white swatch, which is cool too. So you could say have your TV here, and then you have your couch. I'm gonna try and use some of our newer items, like our linen haven sofa. Whoa, this house isn't as tiny as I thought it was. It's actually more sizable now I'm looking at it. Whoa, this is a big house. Okay, actually that would usually want to come in a smidge if we were going smaller. I mean, also how much or how badly do we want this to even be a tiny home? Does it need to be a tiny home? Tiny homes are cute though. There's something about making this a tiny home that I do love. But yeah, okay, so that would be bathroom, small lounge room with needed door, privacy and all of that jazz. Also put on the move object cheat. We kind of do something, the TV. This is really poor design having a door in this area that can't be accessed very easily. But it would have been nice to have some kind of bench or shelf here. That's why I was playing around with that idea. Or we could make it even smaller by doing something like this, having a divide. Even these bookshelves would make a cool divide as well, you know, something like that. We could also do a small mudroom area / wardrobe. I'm really trying to find excuses to use these new kits that are so cute, or relatively new kits. Now, all the items I'm placing right now are just placeholder. These are not the final items or the final colors that we're going to go with. We will definitely ensure that it's much cuter than it looks right now. It's really hard to decide what direction we want to go in for this house. Like, do we go more cottagey windows? Do we go what I usually go for, which is much more modern looking windows, or streamline? Oh, another cute idea would be using this paired with, it is actually a bit tricky working within another roof line. Wasn't there a window that no, it wasn't from Eco, it was from Growing Together. Oh, that was the Growing Together window. This one. So we could either put this one on top, which is a bit tall, or this one, but then that sits probably too low. Because I like the idea of these two together. That could create something really pretty, and it's kind of in between country and modern. I mean, it actually depends on what swatches you go for, to be honest. That red and white does look very farmhousey. I was just having a play around with colors, and I think we'll go with a neutral brown wood. And the reason why is because of the fact that on the inside, we have to have the same wood because it turns into whatever's on the outside. So I'd rather go with a neutral on the inside so we can have more fun with color on the inside. Otherwise, I think I would have actually gone the red. I would have been happy with that. But we'll do a green roof for a bit of fun, and we'll fix up that roof in a second. And then I was thinking we could have just this nice storage area over here, some kind of bed over here. I've also been playing around a bit with flooring. It would be cool to have a fun tile, but I guess I'm trying to merge a little bit of the old and a little bit of the new, a little bit of the modern with a little bit of the cottage. I mean, even something like this is really cute, the black and white tiles. Anyway, I just want to have a little bit of fun. These are pretty as well. I think I'm drawn to the black and white. Oh, is that blue? No, that's black. It just looks blue from the reflection of the roof. If that reflection is too obvious, we can always try changing it. And then maybe over here we could either go, I mean, I like the idea of the brick because I think it's very rustic. They're literally soaring outside of my bedroom right now. I'm so sorry about the noise, you guys. I feel like I'm living in a construction site. Well, actually, I technically am. That is actually true. We could do concrete, but the concrete's very harsh. Stone is probably nicer. But then maybe just with the tile, we go the timber actually and put some nice rugs on it. We could keep up this rustic theme of doing recycled wood by using this Jungle Adventure one, which I have to say I haven't used this wood for ages. I used to use this one all the time. So it's possible we could do something like this. It is really bothering me, the color change though in it. And I think the white is okay for now. Okay, so we've got this really fun peak modern window over here, which again, we could match the white or just go with the browns. I actually think Eco Lifestyle may have some similar windows because this is quite big for any of the other rooms. Well, I do like the cottage window detailing though, or farmhouse window detailing, so we could keep that. Eco, do you have anything that looks similar to this swatch? Kind of similar. I mean, this is okay. It's got the charcoal and then the lighter golden colors. We could do one of these up here. Fun window up the back. And for the bathroom, we can do another Eco window over here. And then I was thinking of opening this up with a nice spandrel, a rustic one. This one could be good because that ties into the wall really nicely. And that is from Horse Ranch. I love the color of this green shelf. I think that's so cute. Although that green clashes a bit with this green. Can create another doorway area over here. Just hold down Alt. Then in terms of wallpaper, I wouldn't mind green behind this green, just so it looks like it blends into the wall. I love color matching in this way. I really feel like we need more wallpapers in the game, more vintage style wallpapers and more contemporary wallpapers too, especially some without this bottom bit. Like it was so great when we got this one, but I wish there was a black and white version. Or gray, like a grayscale version, so I could pair it with this and clash the two together. Could do something like this. I'm still really annoyed by the reflection on those tiles, so I'm going to change them to this one. Also thinking of raising this platform up. We could do that for both of these spaces, because it does always make a room look more interesting or more dynamic when we can have a play around with platforms. And then I was thinking of putting a window here to act as a nice kind of fun divider, or even something like this would be cute. Well, what other wallpaper options do we have in here? Maybe we can do a gingham on gingham wall. I love doing this. I did this not too long ago. So it can be a yellow gingham bedroom. I mean, we could also do the black in here if we don't want to make it all green. And then go with the green lounge. Oh my god, look how good that wallpaper looks behind this in blue though. That looks so good. Okay, we're pivoting in a big way, it seems. No, we'll save it for another time. We'll do the green, but we'll keep it in mind for next time. There's also the blue gingham too. If we wanted to do more of a blue color, we could go either. I think the yellow maybe is nicer. Okay, and then I was gonna have the kitchen here, but this is looking very, very small for kitchen because we can only put 3 counters in that spot. I mean, I guess we could put a couple against this shelf, or we could do an L shape, but that was where I was gonna put our door. Actually, you know what? Actually, kind of like the brown with the neutral cushions and maybe the navy bed or even this lighter bed. Ooh, new rugs. Haven't used much of these ones yet. Oh, the orange is so nice with the green. I do like that orange color. Or would it be better in the bedroom? No, I think it suits the lounge room. Could do the green rug in the bedroom or blue. Or if we wanted to be really matchy, this green rug looks gorgeous in the living room as well. Just experimenting a little bit. What if we did brighten up the interior so there's more like white and black contrast? I know I'm spending so much time just changing between ideas, but I don't know, I feel like I haven't quite got what I'm looking for. This color I think is too bright. I don't mind the darker colors, but I also like this mid brown color too. And I also really love the idea of having the white roof. Maybe the lounge room can be all that white color and then in here can experiment with the darker color because that looks really cute from the outside. And I just realized we don't even have a front door. So getting a front door to go with the windows would be from Growing Together. But we don't necessarily have to do that. I like the eco lifestyle door because it's got that farm vibe to it, but it's also fully glass, so it lets in lots of our natural light from our natural light walls. But we could go a slightly lower one so it's not as overwhelming. And then maybe we can push the fridge back into the wall a little bit. Okay, now that's showing, so we've gone too far. Don't think we can go too far back with this table, or counter, I should say. Yeah, the door's not ideal. It's slightly too narrow, too wide. The other idea is one singular straight up and down door like this. It just doesn't look very much like a front door. It just looks like a piece of glass. Whatever. I think we should go with this door and we'll just ignore the fact that it doesn't perfectly fit. Also, it's kind of weird because we have a roof inside of a roof. It's clipping the sides out, which is really interesting. And I also have placed a couple of angled roofs on either side of this and I've put a flooring underneath this one. The reason why is because I want to turn this into a glass roof above the entrance. I thought about maybe matching the glass on the outside so there's some continuity, but I actually think it's better if they're completely separate buildings. So we're just going to go a clear glass. And if we want to, we could actually get a copy of this and bring it in. So then we're actually, hold on, I'm getting confused with my windows. Yeah, we could put one piece under here, but I just need to create some flooring. Okay, so if we place some flooring across here, I better make sure to paint my flooring, otherwise I will forget. So ceiling paint, we go. Okay, now we can turn this one into a solid piece of roof and place it here. And then I'm pretty sure if we place this here, we can do a little lowering trick like that. And now it's just a piece of glass sitting underneath this, which is nice. And then we can also frame the glass by using a similar roofing tile if we want, like this. It is kind of strange how it has no bottom to it though. So for that reason, I might just go black so it looks less, oh, that's weird. Okay, and then we can also have a chimney, but then our chimney would have to also go through our greenhouse. I mean, technically it would have to go through it. Oh, which is an interesting idea. Because we could angle the fireplace and have, no, I don't think we'll be able to do that because the fireplace would have to go on this wall in order for us to build a structure that goes through the roof. So maybe we'll keep it like this. And I just like having this on an angle So that's why I've kept that diagonal wall. Well, to frame the door, we could probably use a wall sculpture over it, like one of these awnings. There is a green one that could go over it, but then it looks a bit more like a shop instead of a house, although this would be a really cute cafe. That one kind of works. Well, what would happen if we actually built a roof structure? Maybe that's what this little house needs, just an extra roof structure here to give it some trim. Actually, that's not a bad idea. That looks quite good. It actually gives it a bit of an Australiana old shed look, kind of like the sheds you would see in the Australian outback, which I love that. I love showing off some Australiana. I'm gonna place it over on this side as well, and then we'll have a roof here, copy that, flip it around using our comma and full stop key to put it on our other side. And then to make it look more realistic, we'll put in some support beams. I do realize this house is also slightly uneven, I guess, because I was trying to keep it as small as possible. I mean, we could even it up by opening up the sides like this, but I don't think we really need to, because the windows are also different on each side. It's not meant to be a symmetrical home. Now it's making me think, well, do we need to take this a step further and put some spandrels in? Probably. May as well, if we're gonna do a little bit of this, why not go the whole way? We're halfway there already. Okay, so now I've got that. I'm not actually liking this window up here. I think we should get rid of it. A kind of cool idea could be to have actually a window behind here. In real life, I think that would actually look quite pretty. This base game window fits very well. It's quite cute. Let's pop some of this wisteria specimen up the wall. Because if you're gonna make a greenhouse house, then it may as well be nice and lush, right? It can be so green. Obviously, you guys are watching this video after it's been edited. But just to give you an idea, this has actually taken 2 hours, which is so funny because I think, oh, if I'm doing a small build, it won't take very long, but it usually takes just as long as a bigger build. Actually, that's not true. It probably doesn't take as long, but it's not far off. It always surprises me though. Okay, I think we're up to the fun part now where we can actually furnish and decorate the house now that the structure's done. So I guess the most important thing to figure out is probably the kitchen. And it's a bit tricky because I never like to put a fridge directly next to a stove. I don't know if that's a real thing in real life, but yeah, I feel like you just shouldn't be able to do that. So my question is, do I just put a wall here? Oh, that looks so bad though. Maybe I should just put it next to the fridge. I mean, it is Sims. It just seems weird, but I don't want to put it over here because we have our open shelf here. And that also seems strange. The fridge could actually technically go behind here like that if we obviously got a different thing. I mean, it does make sense for a small home for it to work this way, and we do have room in the bedroom to put a wardrobe. We don't have to utilize this space as a wardrobe. And we can make this fridge black. It does look like this swings into this step platform, but we could just change this platform to not sticking out as much by changing the paint color like this. Hey, what happened to your platform over here? Why can't I paint you? I think it wants me to put a half wall here, but is that going... I don't know if the Sims are going to step up over a half wall. I think they can. Oh, I don't know. I've forgotten. Can they go over this? Oh, well, I guess we'll find out. Delete that if they can't get over it. Well, that solves that problem. And then we can have our range hood coming down here. Ooh, that's a fun cottagey range hood. We can do the matching ones. We can also do the same cabinets up here as what we have right here, or we could match these ones. Probably better to match the bottom cabinets, although I'm having problems with them because they're rounding into the door. What if we just do shelves? Ooh, we could put these behind the headboard. Ooh, greenhouse shelves are fun. We could hang that underneath this one. We like the subway tiles. I think the subway tiles are a bit of fun too. I mean, they clash with the floor, but it's a deliberate clash. Get a fire alarm thing in here. Just fit the bin in on the side there. Make it not too noticeable. I don't mind having a sink on this side. Even though technically in real life the water would go all through this shelf, in The Sims I think it will look kind of cool. Can this fit anywhere? I mean, it could. Your sim could get around it. I mean, they can. We could add it here. You know, if we put our bed over this side. I'm gonna get rid of these. Oh yeah, once upon a time I was totally gonna put a window here, but I don't think we need to do that anymore. And then we can put all of our kitchen clutter over here and some pantry things. I love these. These are so great. Packets of bits and bobs. Oh, that's so cool because it matches the green, or we can even do the pink. Also, these shelves, I forgot how awesome they are for placing things onto them. So they're a really good shelf to use. Technically, I have no idea where this exhaust fan goes. It would have a very thin space to escape from out of this wall. But that's okay, it's just the Sims. No need to worry. I'm gonna put a kettle in here. A yellow one looks quite friendly. Dishwasher in the corner here. Actually, no, we'll put the dishwasher next to the sink because that makes much more sense. And the garden to table kit is so great because it has all of these harvestable home decor things like your growing veggies here, which is actually a really nice transition from the kitchen to the lounge room. Just stepping out to our greenhouse, I think we can just use these doors because they go with this wallpaper perfectly. So that's the greenhouse entrance just here. And I actually think it would also be really cool if we had some trees inside of the greenhouse. Oh, I suppose we can do orchard trees though. Otherwise, I was going to do some grass up here, like grass tiles like that. But then I feel like maybe it should be on the ground if that's the case. Like, should we just not have that front deck section and just go straight to the ground? Did I just mess up our split level? No. Phew. Because then, even though I do love the idea of having that platform, oh, this is weird. Then we can actually have grass and pathways. Oh wow, this is so weird. The terrain is not loving it. Oh, that's because I lowered it too far. Oh my gosh. Whoops. Went down one too many tiles. Okay, here we go. Now this is more normal again. I really wish these would join up to their houses. I know I've said this for years, but this is an example of it being really awkward to try and make it look like it could blend in. Sometimes in terms of blending, I find it easiest to just go back over it with an eraser. And I'll begin to place some trees so we can get an idea as we finish the interior of the house of what it looks like just outside. And just place some nice hedges and things around. And I reckon this would look really pretty when it's decorated for the holidays too. Jumping back inside again, we can put some baskets under the seat here. Maybe a bag and some shoes here. Oh, I also love these lights from the Grange mudroom too. So let's use a couple of these on the outside of our house. I suppose on the outside of the greenhouse too. I also really love this shelf. So let's pop that over here and maybe some gumboots out the front of the door in a couple of colors. Oh, and also a dining area. You could delete this to have a dining area over here. But I guess I was just assuming that they would sit on the couch. Unless we do... Yeah, I don't think we're gonna fit in an actual dining room per se. Or if we got rid of this big window, you could have a little dining area just here. And I want to place one of those lovely candles here. Yeah, I love that. That's very romantic. So I was just getting some more items out, and I think this black TV will tie in really nicely because it's got the black roses on it, which will tie into our other black accents. And then, yeah, we've got some plants around here. Should you burn moss in a fire? Like, if wood is green, doesn't that mean you're not meant to burn it? Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of treated pine when it's a bit green. Also, I have a sea of tables and things to pick from. I just grabbed a whole heap because I did not know what I wanted. I thought this lamp was kind of cute, maybe in the pink, because pink and green do go together really nicely. The yellow actually looks really nice too. So does this pattern. Oh, maybe we should go the pattern with like the goldy greeny base. Yeah, I think that works out really nicely. So we don't need this big thing in the middle. Coffee table, we could just use, technically this is a wooden seat. We could just use a couple of these, you know, and I'm using Control and the 9 key to lift up an object to kind of give the illusion that it's sitting on top of there. Although technically if you get down to this level, you can see it's floating. But how often are you down that low? I guess it really does depend on everyone's individual gameplay. Otherwise the object can intersect the object underneath, but it doesn't always look as nice. And then I love this wine color with the green. Beautiful. Oh, that's actually a really nice lounge room. We probably don't have enough room for that. Okay, love the lounge room. Also got this light above here. Did we want this centered? Probably. I feel like a lot of you guys will require it to be centered because I know a lot of you guys like symmetrical things. I am so not into symmetrical things though. Asymmetrical for the win. Tools of fire. Okay, let's pop that there. I actually think these look more realistic sides down. I just always find that, so I'm always sizing those puppies down. I kind of want to put something on top of the fireplace, even though probably in real life you'd want to keep that clear, I'm guessing, because otherwise it'll just heat up. Maybe it doesn't heat up. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've lived with a fireplace. Back in my day, growing up as a wee lass, we had one. I mean, look, the fireplace isn't in use for this point of time of year, so it's all good. And then we're gonna turn this into a bit of a plant slash incense kingdom, which we just love. We need a little plant to go up here. Maybe not that one. Herbs. Actually, yes, let's get more herbs outside on another one of these ladders. Oh, and I got a whole heap of trees and plants that you'd have to usually grow through gameplay from the gallery. I just searched words like plants in the room category, and yeah, that's how I found them all. So that's a good hack if you do want to get some more plants and not have to grow them in your gameplay. And my idea for this is, because I'm not sure if we have actual trees and plants undercover, if they're going to remain green for all the seasons. I don't think they will. I think it's only the plants that we grow that will be green undercover. So yeah. But anyway, we're gonna put a whole heap of these out here because they look amazing. And I actually really like sizing some of these down and rotating them just to give the illusion that we have lots of different kinds and sizes that aren't necessarily all the same. So we get some different colored leaves up there too. Oh, they're so cute. And this is from the garden to table new kit as well. And then these orchard fruit trees also came with that pack as well, which is perfect. Okay, so we've got some trees out here. Trees typically don't grow in a perfect line unless they're a really interesting species that just do, or you're an incredible gardener or farmer. So I like to move them slightly off center. And I guess we don't need this path back here because we don't actually have a back door. So I'll delete that. Make that go on a slight angle. And yeah, we're just gonna have a bit of a blend of different things in here just to make it look really, really green and lush and wonderful. But yeah, I'm a little bit scared to use anything here. We might need to go into winter to finish this off to actually see what's green throughout winter. Or we could just put these on the ground. Probably a better option. And potted plants as well. Actually, I don't think you're gonna fit right there. So I'll pop you there. I can pop you on the corner. Lovely. And I guess we're almost done. I might put a laptop here because that's handy if you have a laptop. It's for gameplay purposes. A few knickknacks up here. Yeah. Oh, we've got double hydrangeas. Okay. I imagine you guys were trying to tell me that in the comments already. Oh, I love that these you can also put baskets and things on top of them. Why don't we put a stash of magazines up here? I think these came from Moschino Pack. That was such a random collaboration, wasn't it? I wouldn't mind some fairy lights going across here. That could be a bit pretty, couldn't it? Here we are. And then maybe a nice small picture frame above here, like a actually the graduation certificate is quite nice, or just a wreath because it is a green kind of house that will pump a bit of red in. Okay. That's the mood we're in today. Get pumped up. We'll put some fairy lights. I mean, I do like the simplicity of this over here. Oh, and some side tables. I think the side table that will probably, one of the only side tables that we'll fix here are probably the Dream Home Decorator tiny ones, these ones. So if you have a very narrow bed, these are a handy side table to know about, or if you have a narrow space between the bed. Oh, and we already have lamps that are on the wall. Let me just move that one across. So they're going to use sconce lights for their bedside lights. They have a cup of tea next to bed, some tissues to blow their nose, hairbrush and claw clip, maybe some sunglasses and keys, some sticky notes, just some general clutter. Oh, and I never actually picked a rug for this room because we were having such difficulties. Why don't we just do that rug? See, that wasn't so hard. Why was I struggling so much to do that before? Oh, I love this house. And in the bathroom, I did a very basic bathroom with some clutter in there. Nothing too crazy. Okay, now let's finish off our garden area. Outdoor activities sounds like us. We could get some grubs back here. Just pop them in the corner. Oh, it would make sense for us to have an actual outdoor table, wouldn't it? Oh, and I love the wind chimes. I feel like we don't use the wind chimes enough. Let's put a floristry table over here. And you can't go wrong with a base game umbrella and nice table. You know, sometimes you just gotta go back to the basics, right? Maybe we do red as a nod to the original house being red. And then if we do want to do any landscaping out here, it's a bit tricky. I think we'll just go for the pot plants and terrain paint. Ooh, we can hang this. We can hang a couple of these around. That's the bonus part about having put in this spandrel. We can hang plants off it, which will also help to keep everything looking nice and green. Yeah, I'm just putting a whole heap of pot plants around here. Plant pots, because I know pot plants means something else in different countries than it does in Australia. And part of me feels like we should probably fence all of this off nicely so it looks clean. And I love this fence from Get to Work, actually. Get to Work coming, uh-oh. No! Ah! Oh, phew. You can always click undo most of the time. Ah! Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay. Well, we can put our path back. Ah, that does look much nicer, actually. Oh, we've got all of these plants to place as well. I didn't realize how many we had. Good grief, we have a lot of plants. Actually, technically this should go up to here. So let's remove that bit. Okay, you, my pretties, can sit there, but I'm going to change up your pots just to make them look more interesting and organic and realistic. And you guys can be actually planted in the ground. And yeah, if your sim is going to live here, I really hope that they like gardening because you're gonna need them to like gardening. Okay, ooh, now we can I was gonna say, now we can seal this up. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, let's save this. Save our progress so we don't lose it. And then outside, we can do landscaping as we usually would. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see this in the snow. We're definitely going to put this in the snow. Although the roof will be covered probably. We'll place some bushes and greenery back here. I like mixing it up a bit by doing rocks as well. You can also raise up the rocks with your bracket keys. And don't forget to rotate some of them because they can look weird when they're doubled up in the same area, like what I just did there. Then add some flowers or grassy things around the base of the trees. And then you bring it all together at the end by doing your terrain paint. Just adjust the softness a little bit on the sides so it can be more gentle and not as like, whoa, that's a dirt patch. Whoa, you know what I mean? And just, you know, tap, tap, tap around. Whoa, that's so cool. Okay, and we're gonna call it house in a greenhouse? House in a greenhouse. Okay, well, let's check it out in the snow. Okay, so I've placed the house back again in the original location so we can see it. And look, it's all green inside whilst the outside is snowy. I just think that juxtaposition between snowy and green is so cool. The only thing that didn't really work for us is that the roof from this is still snowy. So that's the only bummer. It'll still look like it has snow on it, even though it's covered, as well as frost on the windows. Although frost on the windows, I guess, could still be legit though. But at least most of it looks pretty cool, right? So let's go inside. Actually, I think it looks cooler from the inside, looking out at the snow and the chairlift and just everything in here being green. Although the ground is looking pretty icy, we might be better off covering that floor with the fake grass tile and having all the plants in pots. That could be a better plan, but in any case, it still looks awesome. So yeah, we've got our orchard in here, we've got our herb pots, flowers. everything a sim who loves gardening could want and need. And the wisteria looks really cool. And I do like the overall design of this house now that we've finished it. It took me quite a while to get the aesthetic going. Love the skylight. That looks so cool. Oh, it's sparkling because of the snow. So yeah, we have our kitchen here. You could definitely remove this part of the bench if you wanted to. And then some pantry kind of items on display there. We've also got our shelf that sees into the lounge room, which I like that. It's kind of like a practical screen. My sim is just here chilling out, and it looks so gorgeous looking out through the window at all her greenhouse items. And I love these linen black couches. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. She could have the fireplace on if she wanted to. That's what the ceiling looks like. So it's got the glass portion and the flat. Then we've got our fridge over here. I actually really like the placement of the fridge. Our beautiful window behind the chair, very cool. And then in here we have the window up above this window. So it's a double height ceiling. And I actually ended up moving this wardrobe to intersect the other wardrobe, just to make it a bit shorter so my sim could get around the bed, which did work quite well. Then we have our small dining nook or working nook. Quite a practical home if you ask me. And then over here is our lovely cozy bed area. I had to lift this up because she couldn't get around the bed on this side. So you could remove that or put a regular painting there. But I do like the gingham wallpaper behind this bed. I think they go together really, really nicely. Look at the chairlift going through there. Oh, it was going. So yeah, let me know what you think of this build, and if you have any other creative build ideas. Ideas? Oh, look who it is. It's Trashly. But yeah, this was a bit different. I had fun. I think this would be a very interesting concept for homes in real life for sure. As always, thank you so much to my channel members for directly supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. And right here are our top channel members. So thank you guys. I hope you're enjoying the bonus videos every week. Last video, I showed you guys how to make a thumbnail. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already. And you can become a member by clicking the link in the description down below. But most of all, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you are having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and I can't wait to speak to you all soon. Dak dak!